everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Cammy, Killer Nails, aka I am at the nail salon today, so I'm gonna be recording me doing my own nails, design wise, acrylic wise, prep wise, shaping wise. I'll give you little other tips and tricks that make being a nail tech easier. But right now I'm out of monomer, I'm out of clear acrylic. I want some new charms, so I'm gonna head into the nail lab right here in downtown LA and just pick up some new stuff. Hopefully I don't go crazy. So yeah, I'm about to head inside. I might record a little bit, but if I don't, you guys will see me at the shop.
Telling me that I should pay you no mind, wanting you to not be with me all night, wanting you to not stay with me all night. I know.
Okay guys, I made it back to the shop. I already showed you guys this long receipt. Even though I really didn't get that much, I spent the most money on these two items, my monomer and my powder. I go with the core for clear from Young Nails. I recently started using Valentino's monomer, but it's almost gone. Nail Lab was sold out of the Valentino, so I just picked up my Holy Grails that I normally get. Designer foils, nail glues, some nail glue drying spray, and I typically use the resin activator spray from Mia Secret as well, but it's so small. I use it so quick, so I just bought one of these big ones, so I'll always have some backup. Pick up some dark purple by D&D. As you guys know, a lot of people always ask me what's my favorite polishes to use. I always go for the gold bottle. I got is this Kiara Sky monomer enhancer. Let's open this baby up. I saw this on her website maybe a month or two ago, and the review saying it was amazing. So it's this bottle here. Honestly, it smells like a primer. Dior's. I have some dollar signs, some crowns, some double C. Help is you see the little Louis flowers in there? Sold. Once again, I was at Nail Lab. Okay, let's get into this video though. So I'm just going to start by removing this set first. So I have my mask on now. I'm just gonna drill this all off. My other hand is bare. Not touching that today, okay? I got things to do. Oh no, I'm about to drill this off and then I'll be right back once I'm done soaking. The color is almost completely gone from the nails. You can completely see my nails through. They're super thin. And that's about how thin you want them. You want them to almost look like there isn't any acrylic there. I've always loved using these. I get them on Amazon, AliExpress. Make sure that you get the ones that are smooth like this and have the smaller, thinner cotton pad, because the other ones, for whatever reason, don't work that well. Typically when I'm removing my acrylic after the soak off process, I go in with a medium sanding band and my drill on 5 or 6, and I just pop these things off and drill off the remainder of the acrylic. Okay, so as you can see, that acrylic is been soaking for the last 15 minutes, and with this drill, it just all comes off. Just like that. Boom. Acrylic is off. And I'm gonna cut all that off, so I'm not really tripping. Typically when I do a new set, I take all of the tips off. I cut them all the way down. So with that acrylic being as thin as it was, 15 minutes later, this is what I'm left with. It is almost all completely off. But as you guys can see, the drill removes it quickly. So I just went ahead and clipped my nails all the way down as low as possible, just because this is a fresh set and I don't want my nails to be too long. Next, I'm going in with my cuticle pusher, and I typically like to use square edge cuticle pushers just because I find that they are a little bit better at removing stubborn cuticles. I typically push my cuticles back first, and then I go in with my nippers. Then you're gonna go ahead in with your drill and your sanding band with a medium grit on about 3 or 4. And you're gonna gently roll this around the cuticles, around the outside of the nail bed to remove any excess cuticles that you couldn't remove with your nippers. And then you're gonna also go ahead and etch back and forth across the entire nail plate just to create a rough surface for acrylic application. So I typically use KDS glue, it's one of my faves, and my tips are double XL no C-curve tips from the Attitude Shop. I'll definitely have a link in the description box to these tips. They're my favorite. I don't use any other tips, and I haven't in at least the last 6 months. I've been pretty consistent with only using these, no matter what shape people get. So what you see me doing here is finding the middle and cutting from the middle, that number, cutting from that middle number upwards to create the stiletto shape. So I typically don't cut off the tips when I do sets on myself. I love me the double XL all the way. And what you see me doing here is using the number in the middle of the tip at the bottom to kind of find the middle of my stiletto. All right, so I was just on live and I did my pinky on live for some of the girlies on there. I love hopping on live because people are able to ask me questions. Now I'm going in with my Valentino Acrylic Classic Nude, my Super Bond, and my nail dehydrator, also from Valentino. So your cuticle bead, nice and small. Go ahead and pat out the excess liquid. Place it where your last bead was, the top of the last bead, and press it up and down into your cuticle. So you never want to just go in with your cuticle bead at the top because it's just going to start running. Press, 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 press all around. All right, let's talk apex, honey. So when I do my apexes, especially on a more narrow nail like a stiletto or a coffin, I like to do a vertical apex bead. I kind of turn my brush vertically and then just place the bead that way, and I find that it allows me to build up the center of the nail without bulking up the sides of the nail. So I'm gonna put one more right in the middle and blend it upward, blend it down on each sides, and then also blend it down the nail. And in my opinion, this is how you get sturdy nails without getting big, wide nails. In my opinion, typically the more you try and build up your nails so that they can be sturdier, typically they get wider or they get bulkier or they get too thick. Now, where does the apex go? You might ask, you might be wondering, where does Cami put the apex? Where should it go? This is exactly where I put my apex every single time, every set, no matter the length. You if you think of where an apex should go, it should go exactly where the nail will typically break, and it's right around here. Typically from this space to this space, from this area to this area, is always where the nails break. It's never all the way at the bottom of the nail, and it's never too high next to the cuticles. So you want to focus building the nail up right near the free edge, right above it and right below it, because that is what's going to give your nail the strength it needs to last at least 2 to 3 weeks. So here you want to make sure that you're not using too much acrylic. If you guys notice, I'm on my third nail. There's only one bead on the paper towel. Now, one telltale sign that your acrylic is the wrong consistency or you're using too much product is if every single nail you're dragging and dropping the acrylic onto the paper towel. Not only is that wasting your money and your products, but it's wasting your time. The more acrylic that you're dealing with, the longer it's going to take for you to complete the set, the longer it takes for your nails to set, etc. So keep the acrylic concise. Pick up beads and really look at them and look at the size, look at the nail, and look at how much nail you have to cover. Try and be as concise with this as possible. You're better off picking up a bead, assessing the size, putting it down and saying, let me just get a better bead. This is what makes you an expert nail tech as opposed to a beginner nail tech. A beginner nail tech is just trying to build the nails up so that she can shape them and make them look cute. And an expert nail tech knows exactly how much acrylic is needed in every spot of the nail so that when it comes to shaping, that will only take you 1 to 2 minutes per hand. The only thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're checking out your nail from every single angle. So you're going to turn the hand the other way. You're going to turn the nail left. You're going to turn it right. You're going to just try and check it out from every side. Check the side walls, check the apex, check the tip of the nail. Make sure it's thick enough or not too thin. Make sure it's not too thick either. Make sure you have no dips. You really want your application process to be as concise as your shaping process. When you lay your acrylic down, you want the nail to be almost ready for polish as much as possible. Okay, so now I'm going in with my sanding band on 7 on the drill, and I'm kind of using this to do an electric buff of the nails, smooth them out. I used to use a different drill bit for this. I used to use a carbide extra fine, but I don't use those anymore. I just use this. I think it's a little bit faster. Beautiful. They're looking sharp looking sexy. All right, and on to the design. Let's get these nails cute, sis. So, off camera, I went ahead and laid down a little bit of silver glitter nail polish, which I typically like to do as the base of a blinged out tip or a blinged out nail, just because I find that it just makes your work look that much cleaner. When you're doing bling, you want shine and you don't want gaps. And in the event of gaps, you have that polish kind of as a base. So I'm just taking some of my designer charms. I got a little YSL, a little LV, and my crystal clear Serenity charms from Blue Street Crystals. But I'm just going ahead and I'm using actually small shapes. Unfortunately, you can't see what shapes I'm using to fill in these French tips, but I have small little squares, as you can kind of see now. I have small little oval shapes that are super pretty, that have these beautiful cuts on them. So I was actually building up this little kit of clear stones for a set just like this. Oh, I just loved these. So I went ahead and decided to do the middle finger non-French tip. So I didn't paint underneath that one. I just kind of placed the stones down in a very, bougie, gaudy fashion. And of course, I'm using the Mia Secret glue that I showed you guys in the beginning, the resin glue. This stuff, in my opinion, is the best glue that I have ever tried. And I've tried a lot of glue. So just another tip, when you're blinging out nails, you typically want to start from the center, from the middle, and work your way outwards. And at this very same time, you kind of want to start to map out the outline of your nail as well, all of the edges, just because that'll allow you to not get to the end of your nail and you need to squeeze stones here and there to fill in gaps. You also want to avoid putting crystals along the outer sides of the nail. Even though it kind of looks somewhat incomplete from a nail tech's perspective, looking at the nail, the entire surface is blinged out, and then when you turn the nail to the sidewall is somewhat exposed, and this is where your silver polish is going to come in handy, and this is where your shaping is going to come through. So if you were to go ahead and add crystals along the sidewalls of the nail, unfortunately, it's going to make your nails look that much bulkier. And because this is a stiletto and I wanted them to be razor sharp, I avoided putting any crystals on the sidewalls. So I went ahead and cuticle oiled them up, and baby, tell me these ain't fire. Tell me you don't want these for your birthday, for your client's birthday, for your baby shower, for your motherfucking engagement party. Girl, tell me the clear stones ain't popping. The clear is giving some other classy vibe that I ain't really seen before. Like, it just looks fire. Like,